How do you feel about this team a week away?
Excited. I think our freshmen, our goal, for preseason, getting out to the international trip was to have good connection as we get into season. And it's really proven right now, like they're just super comfortable, and our upperclassmen have done a good job. So yeah, we're definitely ready to get after a really good February schedule for us. So I'm super excited.
What do you really tell the freshmen once you get closer to opening day? Like, what's really like the message there once they go their first game?
There's just play softball, like it's try to be that simple as you can. They don't know what's ahead of them, and they have to experience it. So I think that, there's probably some short storytelling a little bit with the upperclassmen, at that point of what their first day was like. But, these freshmen, they've been watching college softball. They're super excited for the moment and for the season. And the one thing probably that's unique to them is they got 60 games ahead of them, so that's a little different than, what they've been around from their club sports and their high school season. So, but yeah, no, they're grinders. They've been out there every day. They're ready to go. And we as a coaching staff are really excited for their opportunities, but this team is pretty special.
With all your new players being freshmen, does that kind of make the program feel a little more solid compared to other programs that you have no transfers, obviously, so it kind of just feels like continuity and solidarity with them?
Yeah, we chatted about it before. I think when you bring transfers in, and when you have a good returning class and you have freshmen, how you bring those groups together is always a little bit of a challenge. And so by not opting for transfers this year and the growth of our freshmen, it's been a clean connection piece, and something that's been a lot of fun to be a part of. It's a very outgoing group, a very outgoing freshman group to do. So I think that we're ready for the challenges of what the game brings you and what the season brings you, and that's what we got to address next. Is we got to toe up against somebody else, get some games under our belt, debrief. How can we be better in game? Because we're definitely, got all we need out of practice right now. So we're ready for that opportunity.
You've talked a lot about the athleticism of that group that's coming in. What has it been like to see it on full display as you guys prepare?
Yeah, we came back here for a week of training camp before we went to London, and our returners, we go out and doing some running, and all of a sudden they're like, whoa, like these freshmen, like they're getting after it, and they can run, and they're fast, and they're this. And so they push the buttons right away to, we're going to elevate our game and how we get after our conditioning and how we get after the weight room and how we do things. And so I think that's one thing, is just their enthusiasm and their athleticism just raised the game on that part. And then now is the managing of the day-to-day part of that. I think as a vet, that when you're coming in day-to-day, how you manage your body. So then it flipped to the freshmen pretty excited, like, oh, they're feeling it. How do you manage that part? So I think that's what we'll rely on now as we get into 3 weeks of the season. So yes, excited about the athleticism, but we also got to be mindful that we have a long journey ahead of us, this whole marathon of a season. And so how do you manage the stretch points, and taking care of your body? And so those are the teaching points that we're running to.
For Kennedy to fight through the rehab the way that she has, get in this, seems to think that she may be able to play a part next weekend.
Yep.
Well, what does that say about her fight and her development, and how has she been, even when she hasn't been able to be on the field with as many fresh faces around this team?
Yeah, you guys have all met Kennedy. She's just a simple soul. Sometimes we look at athletes and what they do, but the reality, they're all humans. And when you get around the human side of it, I think Kennedy's just one of the sweetest and simple people that you can be around. And no one ever felt the injury, she just took it and ran with it and did what she needed to do, and still is a joy out there with us right now. And I think everyone's just a big fan of her as a person, and then you become a fan of her getting back out in the field. So probably the biggest difference maybe is wasn't doing anything in the fall, and now she's out there swinging it, and she's playing some outfields, and now the freshmen are like, oh, that's the Kennedy Harp that softball sees. We see the Kennedy Harp that's just the cool teammate, that the human side. So been on display a little bit in the last 3 weeks on that side. And you couldn't be more happy for somebody to get the opportunity to be back in there.
What do you see with McKenna mentally, knowing that she's a full go now, she's fully healthy now?
Yeah.
And what's something that you're looking for to see her make it back on the field?
I think McKenna has always brought compete. She's just an uber competitor in the circle, and since the day she stepped in here and got after it, now has to manage some of the injuries. She's put herself in the best healthy position she could be in, and then she's going to unlock that compete for us in the circle, and that's definitely something we need in the circle. And So, you know, and then obviously what she does skill-wise is going to be good for us too. So she's ready to go, came in the office today, like she wants the ball, she wants to get after it, and that's what you need from your upperclassmen, and we're really excited about her opportunity to help us.
Do you think she's close to being back to what she was a few years ago? She said she had been struggling with being that, or not getting back to that exact picture that she was.
I don't know if you ever, even if you're healthy, you're never the same, you know? So I think, you know, you've got to get better at your skill every year. You know, you look at Issa Torres in her career and she's not the same person or the same player. So we've added some to her game with some of the change-ups and the off-speed part. I think she's a smarter pitcher than she was, you know, back then. So if anything, you know, some of the recovery pieces and just the ability to go out and just pitch and not have to do anything, like she's feeling that part of it. So that's a little bit different for her in her preparation, but you know, I expect the same McKenna when she gets out there. Yeah.
The way the schedule is stacked up, is being that first month and you pretty much at home, or
Yeah.
and even
You're welcome.
going down to the
Yeah.
clinic.
I'm just kidding, yeah.
How much that really is kind of helpful, especially for the young players that they're going to start off at least at home and don't have to worry
Yeah.
about going on the road for the first time yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's a benefit to traveling and going on the road, and there's a benefit to being home. So we want to manage our schedule to be able to do both and play the type of teams that we're playing. So I think by putting that schedule together, it allows the comfort and our fan base and everything that's here, the growth that these freshmen need and comfort, but we also need to get on the road and get uncomfortable for growth to happen too. So, you know, we got some great on the road schedules for us that are going to challenge us with good fan bases that, you know, we go on the road against. That I think really elevate your game to the postseason atmosphere that you want to be a part of. So, but yeah, I'm just always excited to go down to Clearwater. That's raises the postseason mindset, the people you play, the TV coverage. There's just so many things that you feel like that atmosphere that now all of a sudden you get to postseason, you're like, oh, I felt that before, and that'll be the closest thing to them for, you know, what it would be like in a postseason environment.
Anything else for Coach?